Hi, I'm Megan. I thought I'd start a vlog even though I hate the sound of my voice and never really thought I was important enough to have anything to say before. Anyways, I thought I'd document my journey with cancer. About 4 months ago, I found a lump on my neck, on the side of my neck, and I went to the doctor, and he said it was probably an infection and to kind of wait it out. So I waited it out for a bit, and I went back and asked for more tests. He sent me for more blood tests, and the blood tests all came back normal. He sent me for swabs, those all came back normal. So eventually I went back and I said, I know my blood tests and everything all came back normal, but I need to make sure, because I have 4 kids, I need to make sure that it's nothing. He said, okay. So he sent me in for an ultrasound and biopsy. Had I not Googled it, I know everybody says don't look at Dr. Google, don't trust Dr. Google, and stay away from Dr. Google. But if I hadn't Googled it, I wouldn't have known to ask for more tests. So I asked for ultrasound. Went for an ultrasound that same day. The ultrasound was obviously enough to make the surgeon call and arrange an appointment. She ended up booking a biopsy, an ultrasound guided needle biopsy for my neck lump, and I went for that, and they rushed the results, and then 5 days before Christmas I got the call. They said, I'm sorry, your biopsy results said that you have cancer, a blood cancer. It's lymphoma. You can imagine how much I was freaking out, trying not to ruin Christmas, trying not to freak my kids out. I spent the whole day, the first day, my face just leaked all day long. It was just ridiculous. It just leaked and leaked and leaked and leaked. And on the Friday, so the 22nd, I got a call saying that I had to go to the cancer center on the 28th for bone marrow biopsy, other tests and everything. So powered through Christmas, the kids didn't know anything. Got to the core needle biopsy and everything, went to go meet with my oncologist, and he tells me he explains the difference between lymphomas. He said there's Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He said, which can be divided into 3 other categories. He said there's indolent, aggressive, and very aggressive, or highly aggressive, I can't remember. Anyways, he went through the indolent one, talking about how you can't really ever be cured from it, but it can be treated. So I was sure that was what he was going to tell me that I had. But then he tells me, starts talking about the aggressive ones. He says they're aggressive, but they're curable. Not just treatable, curable. And I was like, oh, crazy. And then he says, you have diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. It's an aggressive lymphoma, and it's curable. And to be honest, that was the best news I heard, because I know other people who've had lymphoma and they've had the indolent kind, so they're kind of stuck with it for a while, and every time it comes up, it flares up and stuff. Anyway, he did the bone marrow biopsy right then and there, and I'm a big suck, so it was a bit of a traumatic experience, but I mean, it's not a pleasant experience ever. And I've had 4 kids, so after that I was just hell-bent on being a positive person, and I decided that if anybody can mind over matter this one, it's me. I'm usually a great big cheerleader for everybody. I feel like I really am very good at encouraging people to stay strong and to be positive and to be kind to themselves. Although I have a hard time being kind to myself. I mean, I'm a lot kinder to myself than I used to be, but I'm still working on it. Anyways, so had the bone marrow biopsy, had to wait for a CT scan and PET scan, and we're waiting for some results from Calgary to decide if it was, I think, a germinal B cell, so GCB lymphoma, or if it's the ABC style B cell. Anyway, I don't think they've had those results back anyways. He said that I will be doing this R-CHOP therapy. So it has rituximab and 4 other medications that we traditionally use to treat lymphoma. So I guess I start that in 2 days. I've got some medication I'm supposed to take the night before to make sure that I don't react to the rituximab. Like skin rashes and stuff like that. Like I need any more of that. I've had brutal eczema, like a good chunk of my life, and I was using Protopic, and I've heard that that can actually cause lymphoma, so could be what happened. Oh, and I named my lump Ebenezer because I figured he was unwelcome and he tried to ruin Christmas, but if you want to see it, it's kind of gross. It goes from about here. It's got a big lump. Front to back, it's like there. It's under the muscle. So it was, it's been quite the process. Anyways, so I got a call one day saying my bone marrow biopsies were all clear. So I shouldn't have to go through that again. I mean, unless something goes wrong and some stuff spreads anyways. But I went through a PET scan and a CT scan, which honestly, so easy. Like, I did take an Ativan for the PET scan because I was a little concerned about the claustrophobia from that tunnel. That's a little tunnel. I remember saying to my tech, her name was Jenna, she was great. I went into the room thing after she put the radioactive dye in, and after that had settled for 50 minutes and I went pee. She's like, okay, hop up on the bed. And I said, I'm going in that tunnel. And she's like, yeah. And I said, is it big enough for me? She said, yeah. I was like, am I gonna fit through there? And she said, yeah. And I said, will I get stuck? She's like, no. And then she said, do you want another Ativan? And I said, no, I'm good. I just wanted to know. So we did that test and Jenna was great. I had to ask her to come scratch my face because I was itchy like right here. So she came over and she scratched my face while I was laying still. And afterwards I asked her if I could see or what a PET scan result kind of looked like. So she said, okay, here, I'll show you. And she took me over to the PET scan results, my results. And I looked and I was like, okay, so there's 5 black spots. So I said, okay, so is that all cancer then, all those black spots? And she said, I'm not allowed to say anything, but we expect some organs to light up because they're pretty vascular. I'm like, okay. So is that my heart then? And she said, I'm not allowed to say it. I can't tell you. I was like, okay. I said, but that's my cancer for sure right there, because I pointed to my neck lump in the scan because I could see it. It was like big black blob. And she said, I'm not allowed to say anything. And I said, well, I know that because it's already been confirmed with the biopsy. And anyways, I know that there was one in my chest, one in my pelvis, and then a couple like kind of slightly above my pelvis. So as soon as I got out of there, I Googled healthy PET scan, and there was a thing that pointed to, it had like arrows pointing out the heart, the bladder, and the kidneys. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember texting my mom and my sisters and saying, if I read my PET scan right, then I only have the 1 lump of cancer. And I said, of course, I'm not a doctor. And they were like, oh, I hope you're right. And then I got the call from my nurse at the cancer center, and she actually said that, yeah, there's only 1 lump of cancer in me. So like we caught it so early. I don't even know if it's showing up in blood work because they haven't told me anything about my blood work. All they told me is I don't have hepatitis. I kind of knew that one already, but whatever. They have to make sure. So, yeah, so I'm lucky I caught it in stage 1, but stage 1 means like you don't get like coverage for anything. I'm self-employed. I don't get, I'm Canadian, so as a Canadian girl, I do get free cancer treatment. So I just don't have any wage replacement stuff because I don't pay into employment insurance. I don't have any critical insurance plans that I have. Only pay out if you get to stage 2. So I guess I'm gonna see how much I can work through the next 9 weeks. Oh yeah, and I got a call saying that because it's only stage 1, I only have to go through 3 rounds of chemo. Each round of chemo is 1 day of chemo, which the first day is gonna be all day at the cancer center, and then 3 weeks of waiting just to see how, like, just to heal from it, I guess, and then into the second round, and then heal for 3 weeks, and then into the third round and heal for 3 weeks. My oncologist did tell me I would lose my hair. I said maybe, and he said no you will, and I said maybe, and he said no you will. I was like maybe. He's like no, you're going to lose, okay, you're most likely going to lose your hair. I'm like but like it's not the end of the world, because I did, like 4 years ago, I did shave my head for the C95 radio marathon for breast cancer research. I remember them asking me if I knew anybody, and at the time I didn't know anybody, or I didn't know that I knew anybody. It was just kind of for the moms, all the moms out there with kids, because I can't imagine losing my babies or leaving them behind. They need me. Anyways, so I knew I've been bald before, by choice. I was a little concerned about my eyebrows, so I got them microbladed, actually. Don't ignore this because I've been, I have a pimple, but yeah, they look pretty awesome, so I don't need to worry about that. And even when my eyelashes go, it's not like they were big anyway, so I'll just rely on some heavy eyeliner. I did find a wig that looks a lot like my hair, so that's kind of cool. So I'm just trying to prep myself, I guess, for this chemo phase. When I googled it, a lot of people said that they did lose their hair within the first 10 to 14 days on this therapy, so fun stuff. One hairdresser I was talking to was saying that if you aren't prepared for losing like clumps of hair, to make sure that you shave it beforehand, because it can be very traumatic seeing come out in your drain, in your bed, everywhere when you're during chemo. But since I've been bald before, I'm not too concerned, and I have so much hair, it's just so thick. There's just so much. I actually lobbed it off Monday night because it was getting really long. It was and I just went, whatever, it just spends its days in a ponytail, so I just chopped it off after my shower. And it's a good fun length. I guess it's super easy to brush. Picked up a couple chemo caps, a couple wigs. My clients are great. A couple of them sent me flowers the day I found out I had cancer. It was kind of amazing. And just yesterday, I had one client bring me roses with this like pearls in it. It was a beautiful, beautiful arrangement. And another client brought me a gift, is basically a chemo care pack. It had like the softest blanket I've ever felt in my life. I swear it feels like a chinchilla, but it's from Indigo, so I'm pretty sure it's not like anything gross like that. And she also included the gum that I chew every time I'm doing her lashes. So for the last 5 years I've been chewing that gum, and I still love it. It's the Excel White Bubble Mint. It's the best gum ever. See, my teeth are white. Anyways, she included that and a little After 8 bar and some Starburst candies. There was a little fear. I feel like I've only broken down and cried probably every 5 to 7 days since I found out how everything's gonna go. since I talked to my kids, actually. Telling my kids was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Also telling my parents, because how do you tell somebody that their kid has cancer? It's hard, it's scary. And I'd rather hear that I have it than hear that my kid has it. No matter how old they get. My twin sister is really taking it hard. I know everybody's kind of taking their lead from me. So I kind of set the tone for how everybody reacts to everything, I feel. If I freak out, everybody else freaks out. If I cry, everyone cries. If I keep a positive attitude, everyone around me seems to be quite normal. Sorry, just a second here. I've noticed, I feel though that a lot of people have spent a lot more days crying than I have. One thing that's really helped me is listening to positive sleep meditation kind of things. My friend actually just started a business. It's called Sleep Subliminal. You should check it out. They have great recordings, and he sent me a healing one with the rain sounds. And I feel like it keeps me very positive. I listen to it every night at bedtime, fall asleep with it, playing. And then I usually wake up about 3 a.m. and pull my earbuds out and disconnect it from my phone and turn my phone off. But yeah, it's really, I feel like it helps a lot. I think staying in a positive mental attitude is very, very, very important for this journey. I feel like that has also helped me not grow my cancer. I know it sounds crazy, but I've had cancer since September, and it's an aggressive cancer. And the fact that as of like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, I guess, it has not progressed past one lump of it's lymphoma, and it hasn't progressed past one actual lump, not a group of nodes, just the one node. The fact that it hasn't progressed since then, I feel, is partly due to the fact that I have not let it get to me. I have not dwelled on it. I mean, of course it's going to come up and bug me a little bit, but I mean, I can't. It's funny because like when I think about that phone call when I was told I got cancer, honestly, I was expecting to hear that I had lymphoma. I was expecting it. I just knew. I knew in my heart something was wrong, and for some reason I felt it was lymphoma. And I know it sounds crazy, but I couldn't get it out of my head. I just couldn't. I tried so many times. I was like, it's probably nothing, but I'm getting tested for lymphoma. That's what I remember telling my ex that before I told my kids anything. Anyways, so I wasn't surprised to hear that, but I was disappointed, of course, because like nobody wants to hear that. But I feel like I've had a lot of people tell me in the last few months, not just like since cancer, but before that, everybody was saying, slow down, Megan, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. You're doing too much. You're trying to do everything for everyone. You gotta take time for you. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get there. Just wait till after Christmas, or wait till after this, after Disney. We're gonna go to Disney in April. And now we can't, because I got cancer. We were gonna spend my baby's birthday, April Fool's Day, which is also fell on Easter Sunday in Disneyland, but now we won't be, because I have to go through chemo and stuff. So that was probably the biggest letdown of all of it. Letting my kids down after we already told them we were going. But I just found out we get to go in August, so that's going to be amazing. I won't have hair, so maybe I'll get a princess wig. I found some on Amazon for like $20. But what was I going with that? Sorry, I have ADHD. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's kind of important too, so you can follow my train of thoughts. It's like runs into itself all the time, and I think my ADHD meds have already worn off for the day. But I cannot believe, there's just the blessings, just the things that have just I cannot believe how lucky I have been through all this. Like, for a long time, I wanted to be a surrogate. I've always been one of those people who wants to help everybody. I want to help people do all these things. And I was like, before I pack up my uterus, which has served me so well, I want to help somebody else have a baby. So I thought, oh, I should be a surrogate. And then I contacted this Canadian surrogacy thing. And I know that Canadians can't get paid for being surrogates, and that's okay. That's totally fine by me. But they told me that, I said, well, I'm too heavy for your thing. And she asked what I weighed and my age and everything, and I told her. And she's like, oh no, you're perfect, dear. I'm like thinking, okay, you guys must be desperate. Anyways, so I asked her about my Concerta. Can I take Concerta through it? And she said, no, you'd have to be off of that. I'm like, ugh. I just found out in April that I have ADHD, like last year, 2017, sorry. I found out April 2017 that I have ADHD, and I've had it all my life. And it explains a lot of things, seriously. Like, I could not clean a room for the life of me. It was like pulling teeth. It was excruciating, trying to get me to just like sit and not do stuff, like to focus and stay on task. So the prospect of giving up my newfound together brain was just like, oh, I wasn't ready for that plunge. And then I knew somebody who kind of wanted a baby. And then my next fear was, I'm a twin. My mom carried twins to term. I don't know how they do the surrogacy thing. Like, do they put in a couple of embryos or a few embryos and stuff in a surrogate and then hope it takes? Because if that was the case, I could very well carry all those embryos to term. Say there was 3. How do I work? I don't have any kind of income replacement, and Canadian surrogates can't get paid. And so I needed to think about my family. So I was kind of putting that on the back burner. And thanks to those fears and my not wanting to give up my ADHD medication yet, not wanting to give up the newfound control over my life, when I found my cancer, I am grateful that I can be treated for it and I don't have to wait to have someone's baby before I can have my treatment. It means I can get my treatment in stage 1. It means my babies get to keep their mom. And isn't that what it's all about? I mean, dads are great and all, but they need mom. This one especially. So, I see my husband dresses the kids. Anyway, I don't know where I was going. But yeah, okay, back to being Canadian. I am so grateful that my country, my government cares enough about me to spend whatever it takes to save my life. Whether I have money or not. Whether I have drug coverage or insurance or not. Doesn't matter who I am. I matter enough to save my life, to pay whatever it takes to save my life. And that is worth its weight in gold. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. And I feel so blessed to be a Canadian with a great healthcare system. Some people complain about lengthy wait times in the ERs and stuff, but I mean, I don't know, I feel blessed. You gotta find silver lining in everything. I am blessed because of that. I'm blessed because I have a family that supports me. Oh yeah, so I was saying that I had a whole bunch of signs to like slow down and stuff. So I feel like I was getting messages, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. You're always trying to do everything for everybody. And and you can't solve everybody's problems, blah, blah, blah. But I love to help people. I'm a big helper. So eventually, I feel like this has taken the decision out of my hands. Now I can't put it off any longer. I don't get a choice. Everyone's making me slow down. People are forcing me into it now. People won't let me help them now, but they're all helping me. So I have to learn to receive as well. Like, I've always had this big complex of making sure that I don't take more than I give, because I hate when people use people. So I'm always trying to make sure that I give more than I take, always, with everybody. And it's probably annoying as hell for the other people like me who try and trade something with me and end up getting more than they were giving, and they're probably like, geez, let me give. I know it sounds completely dumb to do, but to think that way, but it's totally, it's me. I've always had a hard time. If I feel like I'm not pulling my weight, it's not a good thing. But I guess this is kind of a lesson in learning to accept and allow things, I guess. Accept and appreciate. Of course, I appreciate everything. I've always been very appreciative of everything. But I'm big on like, no, I got this. No, I can handle this. No, I can pay for this. No, I've got this. And it's hard because I know that I make a decent wage, but at the same time, I don't have like disability insurance. I don't have income replacement insurance or anything like that. So, and I don't get paid sick time as a self-employed person. So when people want to complain about people who are self-employed making too much money, remember that they don't get paid sick time. They don't get insurance. Like, if I wanted disability insurance, I'd be paying at least $500 a month for it. Now it would be even more because I've had cancer. But like minimum $500 a month, just to say, hey, if by chance I can't work someday, I need to, I will have some income. But a lot of people take that for granted because they get it through their employer. I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm covered by my husband's disability plan. I'm like, nope, because that's through his employer, and that's about his job based on his earnings. He hasn't been paying any premiums for me. Like, I get drug coverage, I get chiropractor, I get all that other fun stuff. I get wigs. So, like, I was very, very grateful, too, that his wigs were covered. My wigs were covered through his work. I know that some people were saying that the Cancer Center does have some wigs that people can go through, and I know that. I read it in my little Welcome to Cancer booklet. It's a little journal thing or whatever. I was kind of like, oh crap, like it was like they was pushing an identity on me when I walked in there, and they're like handing me all this stuff, and it's like my journey with cancer. I'm like, oh my god, like I am not cancer, and I just felt like this is so weird. They just think I'm having like, I don't know. It was really, really a big shell shock. But I guess it was kind of like a lot of info thrown at you. But no, it's actually a really positive little journal. It like really highlights a lot of positive things, and doesn't let you go too long with the thing. It doesn't look like it's something that it doesn't look like it's going too many treatments or anything like that. It only goes like 6 months ahead. So obviously it's a very positive thing. Saying, oh, this isn't going to be a 3-year journey or anything. So anyways, with chemo, I'm supposed to lose my hair. Which, like, whatever. Brows don't bother me, lashes, whatever. My hair, whatever. I can handle it. As long as the rest of the hair goes. I don't want to shave my armpits or my legs. I want all my body hair to go. And if that happens, then hey, silver linings, no more razor burn. Someone told me when I was reading up that sometimes a lot of people's eczema will clear up from chemo, because eczema is supposed to be an immune overreaction. So if that's the case, then it would be nice at least to not have eczema, because my face is on fire half the time. Anyways, Uh, I know I laugh about some sick things. Not as sick as my husband though. I just kind of have a little bit of dark humor sometimes. But what was I saying about oh yeah, so I'm supposed to be tired. So I was reading up people's reviews of art shop therapy. Some people were like, oh yeah, if I hadn't lost my hair, nobody would have known I was going through it. And then other people were like, I thought I knew fatigue, but I didn't. Like this is a whole new level. Like I felt like I had no bones. I couldn't even sit up on my own. So I was like, oh, I hope I'm not one of those people. So here I am trying to plan my life here because as a self-employed person, making my own schedule, making sure I have enough food to feed my family. I booked off my first week of chemo, and so like I only go for chemo for one day, and then I booked that whole week off. And I said, okay, if I feel good, I'm going to unblock it later. So it kind of depends how. So I have an online booking system, so my clients will be able to get in there. And they'll be able to see what is open and available. So I decided to block it off, and then I'll open it up if I feel good enough to work. So like, I mean, my job isn't strenuous. It's just, I guess, staying awake, right? I've heard it's really, really tiring, but I've also heard that some people booked off a week and didn't need it off. So I'm kind of gonna play by ear. I did let a few clients book appointments during the week, but I made them book backup appointments for next week, making sure that they have time. So today I finished a really long day. I kind of extended my hours this week to make sure that I could get everybody in before that week, so I don't have people calling and texting on chemo day saying, hey, can you get me in today? Although I know that's going to happen. I love my clients, but we have a lot of late planners like myself, so I get it. Like, it's worth a try, right? But as long as nobody gets upset if they can't get in, but if they do, then hello. So I also got gonna be picking up some masks and some hand sanitizer to keep at the door. So as they come in, I'm gonna ask them to hand sanitize, and if they have sniffles or anything, put the mask on, because apparently I have to monitor my temperature daily, and if it goes above 38, I have to go to the hospital, like to the ER, because I won't have an immune system. So if my clients refuse to put a mask on if they're sick, then obviously they're not the clients for me, because they won't. I can't see anybody wanting me to go to the hospital. So and I have 4 kids. Like, could you imagine if I had to like go stay in the hospital for a few days? That would be kind of glum chum time. Anyway, so yeah, I've been on a quite positive journey. I'm kind of outlining all the craziness right now, just so everybody can get the full depth and gravity of the situation and just the journey. It's been kind of up and down and up and down and up and down. But I've never, before I was diagnosed, I was afraid. One of my exes passed away back in November, and they had a memorial service for him in December. It's almost a month later, actually. And I remember as soon as he passed away, all I could think was, oh my God, I'm next. Oh my God, I'm next. I'm gonna die too. And I know it's crazy. It's totally crazy. But it was really hard to get myself out of that headspace. Because that lump on my neck, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die too. Shit. I was like, I didn't want to die. I wasn't ready to die. But then I was like, well, at least if he's gone, I'm not the first one. And then I was like, that's crazy. Like, what are you thinking, Megan? And then I was like, oh my God, I'm next. So it took me a couple weeks to dig myself out of that hole. And about a week later, it was down to, am I going to his funeral or not? His memorial service. And I was like, honestly, I knew I couldn't do it. I couldn't put myself back in that headspace potentially where I thought I was next. I couldn't be next. My kids need me, and they deserve a mom who's not paranoid, not freaking out. They deserve a mom who is positive and uplifting and like usual. That's just me. I'm bubbly, I'm weird, I'm goofy. I've handled this with a lot of off-color jokes about cancer, a lot of jokes about, Ebenezer. I've had a lot of different views, I guess. I feel like I guess been given, also I had a hard time before trying to get my family to help out around my house. But since this, I'm getting a little more help. And I know that that's also a blessing. All of a sudden my family is helping me around the house. My kids are actually doing some chores. It took a couple epic battles to get there, but now they're actually helping, and my husband too. I mean, he was always good to help here and there, but he'd help in spurts. And now he's a lot more helpful. People who I've helped who I thought probably would never help me actually have been pretty good about helping. My sister, who never used to leave the house, I love her dearly, but I think she was a hermit because she never went anywhere. And she's been, the day after my bone marrow biopsy, she actually showed up at my house with, in the morning, with steamed milk from Starbucks and a bottle of Tylenol because she knew I needed that. And she helped me get out of bed. She helped me put my pants on. And I was like, wow, she's amazing. So, I don't know. I think that everything's going to be okay. I feel like it's going to be great. The physical things, I guess I gotta wade through that, and I'm hoping for, if I lose my hair, I hope for whole body hair everywhere. Like, I don't want hair on my arm, armpit, leg, nothing. Not behind my knees, nowhere. And because I have my brows on, I don't have to worry about being surprised one day, or angry the next day, or confused. So, this way, thank you to Leah at Lashes Studio. She's amazing. She did great work and didn't hurt. It just kind of felt scratchy, which is great. Like, I've had a tattoo before, so it wasn't a totally foreign feeling, but it was not nearly as aggressive as a tattoo. But yeah, between that and I guess I have a nice big comfortable bed and soft blankets and my new indigo blanket from Becca. I should be able to get through it all. And they prescribed some anti-nauseants, so I know that I won't be. They said the days of having chemo with your head in the toilet the whole day are behind us. Like, those days don't exist anymore, so that's a huge relief because I hate throwing up. I cry every time I throw up, every single freaking time. So yeah, this is kind of my intro, I guess, to everything. I don't think I'll play it back to myself because I hate my voice when it's recorded. Even though I did record a song, but I guess my singing voice isn't quite as bad as my talking voice. But it sounds like my twin sister. I don't mind it on her. I just don't like hearing it on me. I know it sounds crazy. Oh, what was I gonna say? Shit. Shoot. Mom swore. That word. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So I'm hoping for, and I hope for the energy. I feel like because I'm young, apparently this kind of lymphoma usually hits, the median age is 67. So when he said I was young and healthy, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess so. I'm 34. So, but like, and they're not factoring my weight in. Obviously, they don't really give a crap. And so, like, I'm healthy. That's all that matters. Other than Ebenezer, of course. But I'm a very healthy girl. Like, I'm a very healthy woman. I make a lot of healthy choices. I did have Dairy Queen tonight, but that's just for fun. It's not every day. But yeah, normally I'm the one to go for veggies and fruits, and normally I'm the goofball. So I feel like this isn't going to be as hard a journey for me as it is for some. But I'm really curious about what I can do. I'm curious about how positive I can stay. I'm curious about how it's going to feel on chemo. Like, it's not, I don't think it's a huge deal. I might change my mind in a couple days, I don't know. But if I do, whatever. I have a nice big bed. I already told my husband if he gets sick, he has to move out of it. I would love that. I mean, no. But I hope my kids don't get sick, because I want to be able to snuggle those little babes anyway. But yeah, so I guess I'll see how I handle this and how I handle my journey, and hopefully it's not too shabby. I don't think it will be. I'm going to try and just stay positive and do constructive things and think constructive thoughts and remember that I am loved, I am blessed. I do believe that, actually. I know there are a lot of people out there who love me more than I love me, so I gotta remember them if I'm hard on myself. And I guess I'm not the first person to beat this stuff, so I was looking at an online calculator, prognosis calculator, and it said that I have a 94% chance, so that's pretty amazing odds. I think I have a higher chance of dying from the flu than I do from dying from cancer at this point. So I know not all cancers are created equal. So I'm very blessed that I got a curable one. And I watched a movie called Heal, which was pretty cool. I remember them saying, believe the diagnosis, but not the prognosis. I feel like a positive attitude can get you through a lot more than a negative one or a defeated one. So I'm trying every day not to be defeated. Every time I have a little blue bump, I'll cry for like maybe 15 minutes and then, okay, let it out, get out of it. Because I don't need to live in it. I don't need to set up camp. It's okay to visit the sadness. It's okay to let it out. It's okay to feel it for a little bit, but I refuse to set up camp and stay there. I refuse to build my house in Pityville. I had a pity party the other night because this is going to be an overshare, but I got my period like 4 days before chemo. So I'm like, I have to start chemo on my period. Like, this is horrible. Like, because, I mean, periods suck. Chemo sucks. The two of them together, it's just not nice. But I'm like, on the plus side, this could be my last period ever because this chemo can put you in early menopause. So I'm like, maybe that would be cool. I can't complain. But yeah, anyways, I should probably get to bed. I have to spend my day with my babies tomorrow because they're so freaking wonderful. They're cranky today, but they're so adorable. So loving. Just everything. I love my kids. They're everything to me. And I love my job, so it's harder to walk away from. And I love my husband. I have to say that in case he's watching this. Just kidding. But yeah, my husband's at work tonight, so I'm just kind of figured this was finally the first night to get over my little stage fright, camera fright, I guess, and conquer that fear and go and talk. So I guess I'll get used to this. I was joking before that I was going to be Thunder Woman when I'm radioactive during PET scans, but I guess it's the only thing going to make me radioactive, so it's only going to happen like twice in my life. So I'll try and find weird and unique ways to keep myself occupied at chemo, I guess. Let's hope I don't get too tired. I still want to be weird. Anywho, thank you, and why am I thanking people? Whatever. Anyways, I'm a total nerd about this stuff. I always make fun of YouTubers, but here I am. I'm now a YouTuber. Take that, kids. Okay, yeah, and I want to be a stand-up comedian someday, so I'll do another one about that. I don't want to do it for a full-time job. I just want to try it once because I have a few good jokes. They're solid. It's little ones. Anyways, I love a good pun. Okay, cool. I guess to talk to you later. I'll keep you posted all on my journey, and I still have hair, so it has silver in it though, but my wigs won't have silver, so that'll be good. Okay. Good night all. Bye.